think this is the best free transfer I've ever made. We're in our second season with the 10th oldest football club in the world, Queen's Park. And for reference, we went up last season through the Cinch Championship. And after 3 games, we are second place, level on goal difference and level on points after our draw with Kilmarnock. I am not Scottish, I apologise. If you guys are excited to see the transfers that we have made, the game against Celtic that we're about to play, oh my gosh, that's going to be a good one, and everything else that has happened since last time we saw each other, please smash the like button and subscribe to the FM YouTube channel so you don't miss more Queen's Park content just like this. Can we please smash 25 likes, half of the 50 like target that we put for the first episode, to celebrate just being in this division, the Cinch Premiership. Again, sorry if I'm saying it wrong, but it's either Cinch or Cinch, and to be honest, probably could just search it up, but I haven't. And the first thing that you want to know is the transfers. So we're going to go through every single one of them right now, starting with Sensei coming into the club. I just don't know how we've signed him. Not a clue. Not a clue. He has come in on a free from Inter, and he's, I imagine, taken a huge pay cut. 6.25k. And you want to know why it's 6.25k? It's only 6.25k because he's matching the highest earner clause. He was getting paid 5.5k until we signed another player. Why? I don't know. He is great. Look at his stats. He could be like in Celtic or Rangers and no one would bat an eye. But he's joined Queen's Park, a side that just got promoted into the Cinch Premiership, and he has been great. 1 assist, player of the match, 7.65 rating. He is a very good signing, and I am thrilled to welcome him to the club. But he's not the only signing that we've made, and he's not the only transfer that we've made. So we have also managed to get rid of a couple of players, none of them being in the last season. So I am going to start with this season's sales. Well, you know, that didn't happen last season. It just happened on the little border before it turned into the, you know what I'm talking about if you play FM. We sold this player that we brought in on a free for 500k. Chuffed about that. His potential ended up being like 4 stars. So I don't know why they've ended up paying that much for him. He's okay, but I don't think he was ever going to break into our first team. So at 20 years of age, happy to cash in. Patton has left for 95k as well. Decent showing last season. No, not a decent showing. 1 goal, 2 assists. I'm happy to be getting rid of him in that case. We've also managed to get rid of Spong, who suddenly, out of nowhere, lost all potential and lost all ability. 2-star and 3-star was his potential and current ability. So we got rid of him for just 50k, but we're happy to get the wages off the bill. And last but not least, we have sold this man Healy, who we've been trying to sell for a long time. And I mean, it's not going to bring in a lot of funds, so we've just gone with 3 transfers. And at the end of last season, if you remember, we got about £1.5 million in the bank account with about, I want to say, 10k to play with. And like a star player in this division is going to cost you about 5k for us. So that is shown with Sensei there. But he's not the only good player we brought in. Johnson Clark Harris. I'd say this is potentially the second best free signing I've ever made. Don't know why he's joined us, but he has. He's the one that we bought in for 6.25, which managed to make Sensei's wage a bit bigger. Just finished the season for Peterborough in League 1, but his stats are incredibly good. 15 shooting, 15 heading, 15 finishing, 16 penalty taking, 15s in the mentals here, 15 balance, 17 strength. He probably should be played as a target forward, but I'm playing him as an advanced forward. Might have to experiment and try him as a target forward, but he is in the club and very happy to have him. A free signing that we signed at the end of last year for only £875 per week is Aaron, 30 years of age, good stats, 15 finishing, able to do the job. Pretty happy to get another striker or right wing, left wing on the bill. Where is our next player? I am very aware that I am overpaying his wage. 4.2k is a bit more than I thought. Well, I thought he was going to be slightly better. I mean, he's okay. He's not going to be starting right now, but I'm happy to have him in the reserves. On the bench, and his contract's there for a while. So not a terrible signing. O'Shaughnessy, who comes in from a Finnish side. Well, not from a Finnish side. He is Finnish, but he comes in from the Bundesliga 2. Centre-back option, really good stats. 18 long throws is decent. Able to play left-back as well. Left-footed, 6'3", think he's a good signing for 4K, starting player at this moment in time. And we also managed to bring in a new right back, as Tate has just been overshadowed by this man. If we compare the two of them, all the way down here, Tate is just not on a similar wavelength. He's okay, but this man, Kemper Bardell, is so much better, light years ahead. Great stats, 4.2k. Again, I feel like I'm overpaying a little bit, but not terrible at all. Next one, Noah Cooper comes in, a young goalkeeper that could eventually break into the first team or be sold for a profit, so happy to bring him in. Lindsay is a older 28 central midfielder or CDM, looking like great stats with 15 tackling, 18 work rate, 15 stamina. Recently played in the Skybet Championship, so pretty happy to bring him in as an option. Next up was a youngster in the form of Azar Zana. By the way, I've not tried to pronounce any of these names before saying them right now. I've just read them. Zarzana comes in as a right-wing, left-wing cam option. I think he's really good value for only 4.9k. But well, it's a bit expensive too for a rotation player. But he's 22. He's got potential and we've signed him for 4 years. So I'm happy about that for sure. Ferguson has come into the team now. Nathan Ferguson, 3.6k I think is a bargain for a right-back, centre-back and a left-back. I think he could even be our starting right back at this current moment in time with Kemper Bardell, looking kind of similar to him in some areas, better in other areas, but I don't know. He's younger. He's got more potential, and I don't know if he's quite going to be our starting centre back yet. With O'Shaughnessy still playing really well, I don't know, but we've got options for sure, especially with another signing, another centre back. Don't ask me why I signed another one, but for 4.2k this time, it is Nade, who comes in from the League 2, a full season under his belt there, looking very good with some decent stats, 6'1", 25 years of age, a little room to improve, and those are the signings so far. I don't really have plans to make many more. We're trying to bring in this youngster, which is kind of cool, but we've basically spent all our money, unless we end up signing McKinstry because he kicks up a fuss. By the way, we've had like £5 million bids for this man. He is good, but I think he could be getting better. So I'm going to keep him in the squad and hope that we can keep a hold of him. But this is what it's been looking like recently for us. We played our first 3 games in the league. 4-0 win to start off. Sorry, 1-0 win away from home against Ross County. Then a 4-0 win against Aberdeen. We've gone through to the Via Play Cup quarter-final against Hearts by binning Arbroath. And then we managed to draw 0 to Kilmarnock. Apologies if I'm saying it wrong, but we had a much higher XG than them, and we have been using this tactic, the 4-3-3 with the CDM, positive mentality, but we're going balanced for this game against Celtic, which is obviously our first real challenge of the season. I think I would be playing Ferguson or Nade in the squad, but with them not having any match fitness, I think it is intelligent to just play Kemper Bardell, who scored the only goal in our 1-0 win in the first game of the season. So actually, I don't know if he deserves to be dropped at this point in time. Alex Grieve, incredible performances recently from him. 1 goal, 3 assists. So he's definitely a rotation option. But we've just massively improved the team very quickly. McKenna's obviously still in the lineup. Bruce is probably going to be a starter for us this year with the stats that he's getting on the table and the performances that he's turning out. I mean, looking very good. Bannon's going to stay as a starting player with that potential. I want to keep him in the squad. Even Sadabul, is that how we say his name? Sabald, don't know where that came from. Sabald has been dropped down to the bench, but he is starting this game because of an injury to our main man Sensei, but he would normally be on the bench with Sawyers and Bannon in there, but we have plenty of great options on the bench. Rotation is definitely going to be key this season, but this is the squad we're going with for the game against Celtic. It is the Glasgow Derby, and it is McKenna, Kemper Bardell, O'Shaughnessy, Fox, Bruce, Bannon, Sibbald, Sawyers, Smith, McKinstry, and Clark Harris. Sawyers again picking up from where he left off last season. 1 goal in the league, 2 and 4 in the Via Play Cup. Great squad so far, doing incredibly well. Celtic, of course, 3rd in the league. Great squad overall, but we are trying to beat them, and we're going to try and beat them with this team. Okay, let's go 13 for Nade and 15 for Ferguson. That just I mean, there were two team numbers that worked really well, and I mean, I don't really want to give either of them 6. That feels more like a CDM to me, in my opinion. But we know that this team that we're versing is going to be a challenging one. Let's have at least we're at home. At least we are at home. Like, this is the easier of the two games that we're going to be facing, or maybe 3 games, or maybe 4. I don't know how many times you verse each team, but it's actually not as insane as I thought it would be, if I'm being honest. Like, I mean, I don't know if I just don't recognise players, but I know Salamanca's, I can't remember how to say his name, that right winger, I think he's Belgium, is quite good. Carter Vickers, I know, is decent. There's CDM, McGregory. Holmes looking good. Holmes scored. Not a good start for McKenna. But I know. Don't know what happened with my voice there. But I know that that CDM McGregor. Yep, very good player. I think I needed to burp or something like that. Kind of just gas built up and didn't do anything with it. They've got Mino. That's a good signing. But Holm is the man right now that has made it 1-0 for them. Not a good start for us. But there's plenty of football left to play. And 2 shots to them. 62% position. I really do need to get some gas out of my stomach, but don't make it weird, boys and girls. 2 shots now to us, so we're finally getting back into the game, but still no opportunities coming in the highlights reel. Could be happening now with the higher position that we've been getting. You'd expect us to be having a couple of shots at the end of it at some point as Fox picks it up in the centre-back position, into Bruce, into Bannon, the youngsters linking up and keeping a hold of the ball, which is what you want to see. Bruce trying to get past someone. He does actually pass it past them. McKinstry, our best player in our team. I still don't understand how he's the best player in our team. His stats do not suggest he is outrageous, but with passes like that and finishes like that, do not be offside. I do not think it's offside. We go to VAR. It's going to be a goal. It is a goal, thank goodness. Clark Harris puts it into the top corner, and we are 1-1 against Celtic. Bear in mind, last season we versed them in the semi-final of the Cup and lost 4-2. We know that we actually have a chance of being okay against this team, especially with the huge improvements we've made in the off-season and just like people getting better because they're young. We actually have a shout here. But look at his stats, man. Like, there's nothing that stands out as outrageous. But last year he was the player of the season. He's great. I don't understand it though. Stats are fine. They're okay, but they're not like, they're a rotation player's stats, but he just performs insanely well. If you know what it is, please let me know down in the comment section below, because he is, in my opinion, outperforming what his stats suggest he should be able to do. But we could have been in there, didn't quite get the pass through, but we're back on the ball. Bruce, on the left-hand side, does give it away straight away, actually. I did get a bit overly excited there. Dragowski is a great goalkeeper. It's a good option for them. Joe Hart obviously used to be in the team. I think they released him at the end of the season, so clearly they're trying to rebuild with a bit of a younger player. Sabul trying to hit it forward but not finding anyone. McGregor, probably the best player in the league, considered to be the top potential winner of the player of the season. I think that one could be slightly off. Am I being confident in saying that? I think he is off. No, he's not off. Who kept him on? It must have been the left back. He looked in front of the centre back. Let's have a gaze there. McGregor plays it through into Dazin. No, I think he actually was just completely on. I think I was just hopeful. He just can't. He did like have a sudden burst of speed that meant that he went ahead of our centre backs, but still, definitely onside. I mean, I'm not going to say that I'm fuming with it. We're controlling possession, and this is Celtic that we're versing. You know, last season we were down, not even looking like we were going to get promoted for a long period of time, and now we're actually competing against them. Yes, the possession is not insane as it was at one point, but 57% still not bad. We just need some fresh legs, and maybe we could steal a point here. Griever's going to come on because he has played so well when I've brought him onto the pitch. Well, actually, when he started, I'm just going to talk about that again. 1 goal, 3 assists. If you could do that today, that would be brilliant. That would mean we'd win this game if we got that many goal contributions. Sawyer's not having his best day at the office. They're going to bring Weir on because he is very well-rounded in a lot of areas. I'm going to play him as the Mazzala. I'm kind of tempted to move Sabald into it, but I'm going to play him. Bruce apparently not playing great on that left-hand side. I don't feel confident, and obviously I'd love to have Robson on the bench, but I think that Robson was injured or something. Otherwise, I would think I would have him on the bench. I will give a debut, though, to Ferguson. We'll see if he does something on that right-hand side and just get his match fitness up, because I do think he is probably a little bit better than our current Spanish right-back. We've got a chance from a corner here. This would be disappointing to concede. It's come off the woodwork, and Grieve is clearing it out, getting it out of there. McKinstry could actually start a counter-attack, but he's been chopped down there by McGregor. That's got to be a yellow card. It is. But that's not what we need right now. We need goals. We're going to have to go into a positive mentality for the last couple of minutes. We're going to encourage them. We're going to make 2 more substitutions. Oh, 2 more feels like a lot. I'm actually going to go to the cam formation. It's got to be done, man. Like, we're not going to get ourselves back into this game if we're just sitting here. Bannon is going to come off. We're going to bring... Oh, this is a young... Oh, no, it's not a youngster. I don't know what I was on about, sorry. Zarzena onto the pitch. Play him in the cam role. He plays well there. Where's the ball? That's good. Yeah, that is good to me. Am I going to bring Irwin on? I think I'm going to bring Irwin on just for fresh legs. He's got like 15 finishing. You know, if he gets a chance in front of goal, he should be able to finish it just to get the fresh legs out there. And Clark Harris, can't remember his name now, sorry. Clark Harris. Yeah, Clark Harris. Doesn't quite have the pace. Not that Irwin exactly is the fastest legs either. But is it going to give us a chance? Is it going to create a highlight? It's not. We can hold our heads high saying that we did a good job competing with them. We certainly showed that we deserve to be in this this division. Realistically, Celtic are always going to be better than us. Would have been nice to manage to get a sneaky draw in there against the run of play. But still, it's showing you guys that we are absolutely in with a shout of doing well this season. I think come the split, if you didn't know, because I didn't know, there's a split at the end of the season, which I think is a great idea, because it's not like halfway through the season. No, it's after 31 games. 31 games, am I correct? 31 games? 33 games, sorry. The top half of the table and the bottom half of the table split, and you just verse each of the teams in the either top 6 or bottom 6. So that way, every game means something. So if you're in the top half, obviously every game is like for European football spot or for the title, and if you're in the bottom half, then it's like, well, you know, relegation battle. So I think that's a great idea. I love it. So we want to be in that top half come the split. Don't know if that's a little ambitious, but I'm going to be ambitious anyway, boys and girls. You want to dream high, you want to think big, and I think I did that the wrong way. Dream big, think high. No, I don't think high is one for either of them. I think I've just added that in. Dream big, think big. Both of them work. But transfer window is closed, by the way. I don't know why I didn't say that. That's why I simulated all this way through. So, you know, no more transfers coming your... Oh, maybe. No, it closes in a couple of days. Maybe some transfers coming your way. But I'm going to, as you don't know, I'm going to simulate to the end of this season in this episode. That's why it's so long. I'm going to come back into the January transfer window, tell you about any transfers that we made now, and see how we're doing in the league, and of course, Jay, any transfers that I did in the January transfer window. Then we're going to simulate to the end of the season, and fingers crossed, we are in that top 6. Fingers crossed, European football coming our way this season. Maybe, don't know. You'll find out in like 20 minutes. Well, after the January transfer window, I've even surprised myself. 4th place, 1 point behind 3rd place. No chance of catching Rangers and Celtic. Like, we've done okay this season. 4 draws, 7 losses, 12 wins. But these guys are just on a whole nother level. 2 draws, 3 draws, and 1 loss apiece. Yeah, we're not catching them anytime soon. But, oh my goodness, I am impressed with how this team has done. Clark Harris, 17 goals. He is incredible. Top goal scorer at this current moment in time. 7.23 rating. Absolutely justified in paying him a lot of money. And of course, I have made transfers in the transfer window, so we're going to have to go over them. But first, since last time we saw each other, this is what has happened. I mean, I think we came back at the Celtic game, and since then, it's not really been like a rough patch of form. It's just consistently winning games. Sometimes, you know, picking up some losses against some tough teams. This one is probably the only one I could say is a rough patch of form. But St. Mirren are like 5th, Rangers are 2nd, and Heart are 3rd. So I feel like it's kind of understandable. But a lot of players were coming up to me saying that they wanted more first team football. And then I got 2 meetings with the team leaders talking about the dynamics of the team, saying that they wanted me to give them more game time. Luckily, we have just gotten it back on track, but for a while there, it was seriously shaky. But we've bounced back. We've got some wins. We're still in the Scottish Cup. We went all the way to the semi-final of the Via Play Cup, but lost to Rangers, unfortunately. But you want to know the signings, and we have made some. So first of all, I'm going to talk about the sale. Sorry, boys and girls. That is what I talk about first. Williamson, have I talked about him? He got sold. Cool. I mean, you take that. O'Shaughnessy was one of the players that we ended up having to get rid of because he was complaining about his game time. I did only loan him out because I actually quite back him. I'd like to get him back into the team next season and just have him as a rotation option. But for now, he is at QPR, playing no game so far. But, I mean, he is a good option for us to have in the future. And, I mean, if I want to sell him next season, I can. So, loaned him out. Another player that I'm gutted to have to loan out. But I kind of knew this was going to happen because I promised him, I think might have even been an important player. If not, it was regular starter. No, I've moved it down, but it was an important player at the start, that's right. But he got so upset, didn't want to sell him for obvious reasons, so again, just loaned him out, hoping that sorts it and he comes back happy. But the signings that we have made since last time we saw each other start off with, I mean, I told you about Zazana, I told you about Ferguson, told you about Nade, I told you I was going to purchase Soji, and Soji has joined the club. Good potential for sure. Hasn't really played many games, but, you know, good potential for sure. And then John Joe Shelvey during November. This isn't even transfer window business. This is just, he popped up and I was like, why not? And I'm going to level with you. I thought he was going to be about as good as Sensi. I don't know if I was calling Sensi Sensai before. Idiot. Absolute idiot. Oh, and also a huge apology. It's not the Cinch Premiership. It's the Cinch Premiership. I'm actually really sorry about that. I could have easily just Googled it. But back onto John Joe Shelvey. If we compare him to Sensi, well, I thought he was going to be on a similar level to. He's actually like arguably better in a lot of ways. But he's just really not performing that well. I mean, he got an assist. I don't know what role to play him in. I've tried him as a deep line playmaker. It's not quite working, and I prefer since he still is younger as well. Yeah, I just don't think you can have them both on the same pitch. They're just really similar, like 16 passing, 18 vision. He's more of a box-to-box, but box-to-box is not what we're playing at the moment, so kind of just having to have him on the bench. He's an okay signing, but just not quite as incredible as I thought he might be. Next in is Kevin Long. Didn't really want to sign him, but as soon as O'Shaughnessy left, I needed to get centre-back cover, and he was an easy one to get for very cheap, and he's decent. He's okay, coming in from the Sky Bet League 2. Championship. And the last one, very thrilled about this. Again, I just needed some cover as we got rid of Weir. Is that how you say his name? I don't think I ever said his name. Weir, I'm going to say. And this man popped up, and I was like, I think you actually might be a starter now, and I'm almost certain he will be. Mollet comes into the side. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that kind of right. French, Mollet. That sounds about right to me. Ligue 1 experience, Bundesliga experience. Like, I know in real life this guy has been a consistent top flight player since he has gone into the Ligue 1. And, man, I am pretty happy to have him in the club. His stats are still incredibly good. 16 long shots, 15 corners, 16 free kicks. Really good set piece taker, clearly. But still, like, 14 passing, 14 vision, 14 technical. Really good stats for our level. Absolutely stoked to bring him in. Got him in for 2 years because I think he's going to continuously be okay, at least as a rotation option. So that does mean that our tactic and our team is looking like this. We have played this tactic all season. I don't think I've adjusted anything all year because it's just been working. And the only thing that I've changed now is Mollet came in instead of Sawyers. Sawyers can feel a little bit hard done by. 5 goals, 5 assists. He's been playing okay recently, but unfortunately, I think Mollet is better on paper. Zazana is also starting at the moment as well because he has just hit a nice wee touch form with a goal and assist, and then an assist in the last game. And Thomas was out with an injury for a long time, so he's just come back. And I don't really want to get rid of Zazana when he's in good form. So, I mean, Thomas, he's on the bench for right this second. And then, of course, Fox would love to be in the starting lineup, and he is actually going to be in the starting lineup. I was going to say he's injured. He's not injured anymore, so we can get him back in. Ferguson goes back onto that right back spot. Oh, maybe I won't for this game, actually. I feel like I'm rushing him, but he'd be on the bench, in the starting lineup in a normal team. Ferguson right back, Fox in centre back, Nade with him, McKenna, Bruce, Bannon, Sensi, Mole, Zarzana, McKinstry, and Clark Harris. A great team coming out for our team, and I'm pretty stoked with the position we're in right now. Fourth place for a really long time though. So we're up in that European football conversation for sure. I'd be disappointed if we don't end up getting that. In other news, McKenna was potentially going to leave to go to a Premier League club. I said, you need to pay £11 million, and he was like, yeah, I'm fine with that. If I get an offer, because he wanted to leave. And then immediately they offered £11 million, and I just quietly rejected it. He didn't get upset about it. I don't think he noticed. So, chuffed about that. Bruce is getting some interest too. These are two players I really don't want to get rid of. But, I mean, if they're going to get really upset, I might have to get rid of them eventually. But for now, I'm very happy to just keep them in the club. And the other players that picked up a fuss were Irwin and Lindsay. So they are both on the transfer list right now and not really getting much game time as a result. Irwin, I would love to play actually because he's been a great option off the bench. But Alex Grieve, not a whole lot worse, and he's not whinging. So easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Let's jump into this game, which is against Ross County. Of course, after this game, we're going to simulate all the way to the end of the season, play this last game on camera, hopefully lock in some European football. But this game against Ross County, the bottom side in the division, should be a comfortable win. So let's hope we do exactly that with this team. And we're going to have to give Mole a squad number. I guess 24 is the only one we can really give you because it's the only one that's available that's like not 68. So I was about to say a different number, and you know exactly the number that my brain went to, and I'm happy that I took the high road and didn't say that number, boys and girls. Bit snowy out there at Ross County today. We can just see in the team, like there's people I recognise here having on and other saves, and I just know they're not of the level of some of the players we have. Like Danda, I've had a couple of times. I think that might be it. But you know, if they're starting Danda and we got Mole, like we're on a whole nother level, boys and girls. Here is Bruce attacking to start the game. McKinstry goes for a shot early doors. The goalkeeper would have been absolutely devastated if he let that one go in. But luckily for them, not luckily for us, it has been saved. Oh, by the way, some of our youth recruitment, oh mate, they are coming up really well. I don't think I ever talked about that last season. This is on my mind right now, and I do not want to forget it. We have a great youth system. Look, this guy came through, 5-star potential, 2-star current ability. Willix, love ya. Next player, McIntosh. I think it's probably McIntosh, because it would be MAC if it was Macintosh. But anyway, McIntosh, again, 5-star potential, 16 years of age. Cooper, I actually signed him off another team. Crones comes in, 4-star potential. It was 4.5 a couple of days ago, so I'm a bit disappointed it's gone down. Again, Durant, 4-star. Longridge, 4-star. Waters, 4-star. And apparently, our next one is an excellent intake again. You can't see it, but it was actually an A, even though no one's getting an A in the categories. But last time it did that too, and we've ended up getting some real gems from it. So fingers crossed we get that again. Because, mate, our youth facilities, they're doing the business. And Clark Harris doesn't look like he's going to be able to do the business in this game. Yeah, that fitness is not going back up. He's going to have to come off. I'm going to bring Grieve on to try and shore up that striker spot. Well, not shore up that striker spot, just, you know, not be limping in that striker spot. But nothing really happening in this one. I'm going to move to a positive mentality to try and get the boys attacking a bit more, because we would normally have a lot more shots and even a lot more possession in this game by now. But not quite going our way as things stand. It is us on the ball now, though. Mole, that would have been a great way to introduce yourself to the fans. Scoring a free kick there. Sensi has already done one this season, so actually you were taking it off him in a very controversial way. But I am going to say I'm not happy with the performance so far. Got to be scoring a goal at some point during this game, and it is potentially going to come now. No, it's headed over the bar by Nade. Nade's another one of those players, just like McKinstry. I just don't feel like he has that good of stats, but he plays really well. Like, I mean, they're fine, but I feel like he plays really well, so I'm going to keep playing him. Is Mole going to score on his debut? No, he bottles it, mate. You were through, and you've just lost the ball, and I feel like that's the end of the highlight too, unless they get the ball and have a chance here. Oh, that would not be good. I'm going to be upset with you, Mole, if they score. I'm upset with Mole, even though they didn't score. Danda, that would have been terrible if he scored. Obviously, I was talking smack about him before, but I do still expect us to be winning this game. It is Camper Bardal. I have to look at his name every time that I read it. Into Nade. Camper Bardal on it again. Didn't have to look at it that time. Zarzana in the ball. Unfortunately, it is cleared long, but we get it back through Ferguson, who plays it into Bruce, continuing to be a locked-on starter for us. I think he started just about every single game this season. I'll tell you who actually has started every single game this season. I don't know why. He's not that insane. But Bannon, I love him. He's got so much potential. He keeps improving. I mean, that ball-winning midfielder role is just perfectly suited to him. I love him. I don't know if it's actually making the team better with his 6.85 average rating, but I love him. He continues to start. Same with Bruce, same with McKenna. All those youngsters just going to keep developing. And you can actually see their stats improving gradually, which is exactly what you want to see. And eventually, I think they're going to be legends of this football club, because my plan is, of course, to win the Champions League with this team. Whether I'm going to do it or not is a whole nother story. But I would love it if one of those three, or all of those three, were involved in that team. But unfortunately, still no goals coming our way. He's got a lot of fitness, so I don't actually want to bring him off. McKinstry, I feel bad bringing McKinstry off, because, as I say, he is, great. But I'm going to have to bring Thomas on. A bit lower match sharpness. Let's get Shelby on as well for Sensi. That is a typical substitute that I make all the time. Shelby for Sensi. Because again, I just don't think they can play together. But if you swap one for the other, they're kind of a bit like for like. So fingers crossed Shelby does something in this game. There's the bald man on the ball right now. Shelby into Campapadal. Yeah, I had to read it that time again. Nade into Ferguson. We're moving it over to that left-hand side, attacking through Bruce, who cuts through the middle, plays a perfect ball through into Thomas, and has he hit the woodwork? Or no, he's gone offside anyway. Might just hit the back advertisement boards, but anyway, it hasn't gone into the back of the net regardless. 10 minutes ago, we'd expect a goal here, boys and girls. This is not good attacking play from us. I guess we did have to bring our star striker off at some point, but Sawyers is often the man to score. Let's bring him on. And then just get Robson on as well, because Bruce is looking a wee bit tired at left back position. 5 minutes ago, Robson also wants to leave the club. Forgot to say that, yeah, but he's good enough to still be a rotation option. We don't have another left back. Last minute goal. If we win the ball, if they score, it's going to be absolutely gut wrenching. Surely they're not going to score. They might score. They're on the ball. They have it. Play it into their midfield. Put it over the top, but they're scoring. They've just scored. It's being called for offside. I don't know if he is offside, though. I think we may have just bottled this. I think he's on. No, thank goodness. Goal disallowed. I mean, a 0 draw is still a really bad result against the bottom of the table. Can we get a goal? No, you've headed it over the bar, man. That doesn't even feel like a highlight. That's just a terrible header. 0 draw. I mean, it's... No, it's bad. It is bad. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We're in 4th place. We should be winning those games. That's 12th bottom of the table. We should be winning. Thank you very much. I mean, it still does mean we're in 4th place, just 1 point behind Hearts, so they must have drawn as well. But yeah, you'd want to be seeing us scoring a goal. And apparently, Clark Harris, how many goals? How many games has he not played? Has he played without a goal? Over 7 hours of football without finding... 7 hours? Mate! You need to score! I'm talking to you about that. Mate, you... Score, you egg! Oh my goodness. Alright, well, I'm sure he'll score by the end of the season, but that is not ideal. That's probably why we're going through a bit of a... Well, we weren't going through a blip. Well, we were going... I don't know. Did we call that a blip? Bit of a blip. I mean, yeah, bit of a blip. But we're going to bounce back. We're going to get goals. We're going to score. We're going to win. And we're going into that top half come the end of the season. Oh, I forgot about that split. So that's not even the last game of the season. I'm coming back at the split. Surely we're going to be in the top half. Top 6. Who's 30 points is 11. We're 11 points clear. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Things have ended up being fine for us. We have definitely gotten into that top bracket. And with 1 game to go, we could finish 3rd. Hearts are just a point behind us. They're versing a side that, of course, are playing for something as well, European football, away from home. So we kind of need them to do the job for us, because I don't think there's any chance that we're beating Celtic, especially when they're in a title race themselves against Rangers, who, again, I don't think are probably going to drop any points, but every single game counts for something at this point in time. Since last time we saw each other, obviously I've simulated all of the games since the end of the transfer window, so I think it's somewhere like, we played that Ross County game, so all these games have been simulated. We got knocked out of the Scottish Cup quarter-final. The Hearts won a couple of games, lost a couple of games here and there, but overall, I'm pretty happy with how we've done. These 2 draws here were a bit disappointing, considering I think both of them we could have won. This Hearts one in particular, 1 XG to their 0.44, and then here the St Mirren game, again 0.88 to their 0.35. Just not enough chances created, I guess. Hopefully that changes in this game against Celtic, but honestly, don't know if it will. Speaking of games against Celtic, this is probably the highlight of the career so far for Queen's Park, the Glasgow derby, and we managed to win 1-0 in front of 51,000 fans. That is the first time that we've ever had that many fans in our stadium. We did have the same amount in the game against Rangers, but we didn't quite come away with the win. But now, 51,000 fans. Only 14,000 of them are fans, but still, to beat them 1-0, it was a beautiful game. And we kind of deserved it too. Like the XG, 0.97 to 0.56. I was pretty chuffed with the performance. Zarzana with the goal ended up being quite an important player for some periods of the season, but not starting this final game. This is what we're going with for it. It is actually, no, Zarzana is playing. I forgot that McKinstry has picked up an injury. He's out with a broken cheekbone. I've given him the like face covering, like play through the injury kind of thing, but still means he's really knackered all the time, so he hasn't played the last 2 games, unfortunately, so he is not in the squad. Ben Willocks is coming through. Ben Willocks is coming into the squad, one of our youngsters that are looking incredible. Our youth team this season, the people coming through the youth academy are great. We got this man, Billy Dunn, who now has 5-star potential. We got this man, Chris Robson, who again has 5-star potential. And then a couple other ones that are okay. This New Zealander has 3.5-star, but I don't think any of them are going to be decent. But those top 2, a right winger and a right back, the right-hand side is going to be sorted for the future. But this is the team that we're going with for the last game of the season. McKenna, Ferguson, Nade, Fox, Bruce, Bannon, Sensi, Sawyers, Thomas, Zarzana, and Clark Harris. Clark Harris still in that top goal scorer race, but unfortunately right now is not winning it. He's level with David Turnbull, so he needs to score in this game if he wants to win it, and we need to stop David Turnbull from scoring. So a lot to play for in today's game. Either way, we're getting European football, by the way. Europa League will be coming to us either if we're 3rd or 4th, but if we're 3rd, we only have to play 1 qualifying round. If we're 4th, we have to play 2. Fingers crossed we can get that 3rd place spot. And last thing I want to say, Mole, terrible signing. Horrific. His stats are great, but just nothing coming out of him. No idea what's going on, but he's been horrific, so Sawyers has kept that starting spot. I think that's definitely a position I'm going to be looking to strengthen next season. I mean, I'm happy to have Mole as a rotation option, but even as a rotation option, he's doing absolutely nothing, so fingers crossed we get a better player in for next season. But currently, it does look like they're actually not even playing the man that's in competition, Turnbull, for that top goal scorer race. But a very strong side either way. This could be our one and only opportunity. Oh, he hits the woodwork, mate. I thought you were going to whip a ball in. Someone was going to head the ball, maybe get it just over the bar, or maybe even knot it in. But he's hit the woodwork, caught me off guard. Certainly caught their goalkeeper off guard too. But not enough to go into the back of the net. We do need to keep an eye on this Hearts game. Because if I'm honest, I think that's probably the only way we're going to win this 3rd place spot. I mean, the chances of us beating this side are slim to none, but the 2 first highlights are coming towards us, and we have beaten them before, and another chance is coming our way. Boys and girls, we are actually doing a good job against the Celtic side that are fighting for promotion in the Glasgow, for the title in the Glasgow derby. We might have another win under our belts. Let's hope that we can continue the pressure in the second half and the rest of this first half. I'll pause the game to get those results up. 0-0 for everyone right now. So as things stand, things are staying the same. And actually, this Celtic side are going to be fighting for their life now because St Mirren are beating Rangers. So Celtic could be winning the title here today. in the Glasgow derby. That would be a great way to win it for them. Since he's on the ball, though, he's trying to spoil the party. Been the key player for us so far, but he ends up losing the ball, and now they have an opportunity. Their left winger, I know this man is a good player. I think that's a clean tackle. We're going to a VAR check. I think we should be okay. Generally, if it looks okay, it is okay. And I'm hoping that this is the case today. It's not a penalty. There we go. If it looks okay, it is okay. It looks pretty fine to me, and it has ended up being fine. And the stats are certainly pretty evenly matched at this point in time. A lot more possession for them, which is really rare for us. We normally have about 55 at least. But the shots are coming both ways, and it does look like Celtic are getting a bit more of a foothold in the game in the second half of the first half. But we're still doing a good job. And again, if it looks fine, it should be fine. That one looked a little bit less fine, if I'm being honest with you. But I'm still hopeful that we're going to not get a penalty here. Two no penalties, please. 2 no penalties. Are we going to get that lucky? I don't know if we will. They're checking it for a good while. And it is not a penalty again. 2 no penalties. There we go. Okay, see, if it looks fine, it is fine. And with 30 minutes played, I mean, we'd be stoked with the performance before the game started, but we kind of need a win if we're going to secure that third place spot. But obviously, I'm getting a bit greedy here. A draw is a great result against Celtic. And this first half has gone about as good as you can expect it to go. It's them on the ball, though, trying to spoil our party. It's them playing down the left-hand side, cutting it inside, moving inside, and that ball's just trickled through, and I think they're going to... No, it's McKenna making a great save, and McKenna, of course, still wanted by some huge clubs. I think Leicester are interested in him, and West Ham... No, sorry, it's Everton and West Ham now, and actually Bruce has even gotten a bit of interest now, which is really annoying because I love Bruce too. Is that another shout? No, I thought it was another shout for a penalty. That one looked more like a penalty than any of the other ones. But again, it's another highlight, and again, it looks like it's their way. I think they have switched something up, they've changed something, and they're definitely outplaying us now. Down this right-hand side, cuts it in. McKenna with another great save. There's no wonder this man is being scouted by some big clubs. But for us, we need him, because he's saving our blushes every now and then, and that is a great example. He was out for about a month at one point. We definitely saw a wee bit of a dip in form without him. So he is our key goalkeeper for sure, and I think he could actually turn into one of the best goalkeepers in the world based upon his stats and based upon his potential. I'm thrilled with the performance so far. Obviously, I'm going to say that to the boys. We can see here Bruce wanted. No, he's not wanted anymore. Gettin would take that. But McKenna definitely still wanted by Aston Villa, Brighton, Everton and West Ham. Nerve-wracking stuff. Hopefully we can hold on to him at the end of the season. Clark Harris is also wanted, but he is worth 11 to 12 million pounds apparently. And I'm not going to lie to you, if we get that kind of bid, I'm definitely accepting it because he is 30. Like, oh yes, there we go. Hibbernane manages to score right now. Me and Celtic are both thrilled with this result. I think that they go top based upon this, or maybe they need a goal. They hit it over the bar either way. I think they do actually need a goal. I think they're losing on goal difference. If we look at the league table, yeah, they're not winning right now. They're going to be throwing everything at us. It doesn't look like Rangers are going to win their game. They're bottling it. Can we keep a hold of it? I mean, it doesn't actually impact us right now. No, it does now with Hearts scoring an equaliser. Can we get a winner, though? Can we surprise the Celtic side? We're going to bring Willocks on. Bring on a youngster. See what he can do for us. And I'm also going to bring Molay on to that right-hand side. Play him as a... Oh, no, I'm going to switch them around. Molay as the inside forward. And Zarzana as the inverted winger on that right-hand side. Finally, he plays really well in that role. I don't know if I love wingers in this game, but I use it if it makes sense. Shooting it way over the bar there, thank goodness for us. I mean, Celtic, mate, you're really bottling this here. If we score now, it's going to be so against the run of play. They have collected it, luckily for them, and I think this could actually be their counter-attack, because that was not the biggest highlight I've ever seen. That's kind of just trickled up towards the goalkeeper, kind of just headed aimlessly in the air, not the best contact on the ball. This is their highlight for sure. It is their shot, and it's wide again. Boys and girls, we could be spoiling Celtic's party. We could be spoiling their chance to win the league, and actually, Rangers are getting back into their game. They could be spoiling the party just by getting a draw or a win in the last couple of seconds. But can we get a draw or a win in the last couple of seconds? Molay puts in, Ferguson's there, and we have scored to make it 1-0, and it doesn't matter about other results now. We are winning and we are coming third. And Celtic, mate, you've bottled it. This is a serious bottle job, and I have experience with bottle jobs, and I think that we've managed to do it. No, we haven't. No, don't do it like this. Don't do it like this. Hit it out. Get it out of there. They had the goalkeeper up at one point there. No, Bannon actually gets it. Clears it away. Sawyers, pass the ball forward. Is there still a goalkeeper running towards the goal? No, I think he'll be in the net by now, but here is Bannon. We're holding on to it. They've got to be trying to press us and get the ball back. Could leave them a bit exposed in defence. Here's Ferguson, the goal scorer, playing it down the right-hand side. Can't find a pass, so he goes himself. Is he going to whip a ball in? Is he going to find Willocks? Willocks! Oh my goodness, that was so close to making it 2-0 on his debut, on his league debut for sure. I think he has played in the Cup, but not in the league campaign so far. Might have to change that next season with his potential and current ability, but we've done it. We've won 1-0 against Celtic, and they will be kicking themselves. We have won twice against Celtic this year. 4 games against them. I imagine we lost 2 of them. Actually, let's check that. That's making me very curious now. The Celtic, 1-2 loss that we saw early in the season, then a 1-3 loss, and then a 1-0 win, and another 1-0 win here to make sure that we have finished in 3rd place with space to spare, if I'm being honest. Well, I'm not even being honest. It's just factual, isn't it? We've managed to win it and have a 3-point gap. And Celtic, if they beat us, would have won the league. But unfortunately for them, I've lost it, and we've come 3rd. Beautiful stuff, boys and girls. Wow, that is a great way to end the season. We have managed to win the game against Celtic, and we have managed to get Europa League football. I think we are going to have to verse a decent side, though. If we take a look at last season, it was Hearts that actually came 3rd. And at the start of this season, they had to verse Besiktas in the Europa League playoff. They ended up losing it, so they had to go to the Conference League. So at the very least, we're going to the Conference League, but there's a serious chance that we could be going to the Europa League, which would obviously be incredible for a side that were in the Cinch Championship just last season. 3rd place now. We just need to keep improving this team, boys and girls. I mean, I think for me next year, this Mazzala role, the right winger role, and then maybe a better centre back. I don't know who I would replace between Fox and Nade, but I think those are my targets. Even the right back could be kind of improved too. Ferguson's okay. He's not outrageously good though, so I don't know. We'll just see what pops up in the world. But thank you guys so much for watching this one. I'm stoked with how I've done this season after being predicted to finish, 6th? We've just finished 3rd. Incredible performance by the boys. If you're enjoying the series, smash the like button, subscribe if you don't want to miss the rest of the content with the 10th oldest football club in the world, Queen's Park. I'll see you all later.